Hello friends, welcome again to Pharma Biomed Concepts. This is Dr. Neeraja. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about one of the very important aspect towards the cell, that is cellular adaptations. So first we have to understand what is adaptation, what are the different types of cellular adaptations, and why a cell needs an adaptation. This is all we are going to discuss in this tutorial. So coming to the adaptation, why a cell needs adaptation means, yes, to survive, every cell has to acclimatize with the surrounding environment. In such case, cell has to adapt to the corresponding the surrounding environment. Either it may be the cell adaptation, either it may be a normal process where it is called as a physiological adaptation, or it may be a pathological process. What is a physiological process? In a normal condition also, cell needs some changes. The tissue needs some changes. The cellular organization needs some changes. These are called normal processes. For example, during pregnancy and after the pregnancy, increase in the size of the breast or breast epithelium, which is an example, a common example of a normal adaptation of the cell towards the pregnancy as well as after the pregnancy during the time of motherhood. So, coming to the pathological adaptations, yes, cell also adapt to the pathological conditions. Why? Means if some injury happened, cell wants to escape from the injury. So what is the escape mechanism? Cell will develop different types of adaptations. By that, cell will escape from the injury. So adaptations, either it may be a physiological process or it may be a pathological process. Now we have a different types of adaptations. There are different kinds of cellular adaptations. So here I have listed 5 types of cellular adaptations. Here you can see the first one, this is atrophy. So here you can see very clearly, initially the size of the cell is very big. Slowly the size of the cell has been reduced and the cells become smaller. This is called atrophy. That means cell size is going to be reduced, at the same time the tissue size is also going to be reduced. So again, atrophy, it may be, there are some bullet points are there for each and every category. You just go through here. So atrophy, it may be a physiological phenomenon or pathological phenomenon. What is a physiological phenomenon? For example, from childhood to the adolescent, and when we are become older, our thymus gland undergoes atrophy. Lymphoid tissue undergoes atrophy. And as the age goes on, brain tissue will undergo atrophy. And once the menopause is going to be started in women, gonads are going to be undergoing atrophy. So these are all the normal processes that are going to happen in our body. So this is a physiological phenomenon. Then coming to the pathological phenomenon, yes, pathologically also there may be decrease in the size of the cell. So why there is a decrease in the size of the cell means, here what is going to happen within the cell means the protein synthesis is going to be reduced. The proteasome is going to be reduced. When the protein content of the cell is going to be reduced, when protein synthesis is going to be hindered, then obviously there is a decrease in the cell size. So either it may be, if it is a pathological condition, maybe because of the starvation, atrophy may occur. Because of heart muscle may undergo atrophy, that is called ischemic atrophy. So because of some environmental conditions, atrophy may occur, which is called idiosyncratic atrophy. So there are different kinds of pathological as well as physiological atrophy conditions. Then moving on to the second one, this is hypertrophy. So the name itself indicates. So initially the size of the cell is less, and after the cellular adaptation the size has been increased. That is called hypertrophy. That means there is an increase in the cell size, there is increase in the tissue size, finally there is an increase in the organ size. So that is called hypertrophy. So what are the important points in the hypertrophy? So here again, why hypertrophy is going to happen? It is because of the muscle enlargement. Here the underlying reason behind this is what? Muscle enlargement. For example, if you are taking cardiac muscle, heart tissue, hypertrophy of heart tissue, that is because of the enlargement of the cardiac muscle. And kidney, there are some organs are there such as kidney, hypertrophy may occur in the kidney. So basically it is going to happen because of the muscle enlargement. So here some more underlying mechanisms are there. For example, these heart muscle is going to contain a receptors called stretch receptors. So what these stretch receptors will be in hypertrophy, this stretch receptors get stimulated excessively, so that more RNA gets synthesized and more protein gets synthesized. Because of that, hypertrophy is going to happen. So this is one reason. And there is a adrenergic receptors will be there in the kidney as well as heart. You are going to have an adrenergic receptors. Because of the excessive stimulation of this adrenergic receptors also, it leads to hypertrophy. So atrophy means a decrease in the cell size, whereas hypertrophy means increase in the cell size. Then moving on to the third one. Here you can see you have a cells, but cells are undergoing the cell division irregularly, so that many cells has been produced. Actually this should be the cell number, but here there is an increase in the cell number. Why there is an increase in the cell number? Because of the more number of cell divisions, there is an increase in the cell number. This is called hyperplasia. So in hyperplasia, you are going to find increase in the cell number apart from the cell size, right? So coming to the hyperplasia, what are the important points to be remembered? Hyperplasia may be of again two types. One is hormonal hyperplasia and other one is compensatory hyperplasia. What is this hormonal hyperplasia? For example, again, during the time of pregnancy, the uterus size is going to be increased because of the more number of the cells are getting replicated, and breast epithelium is going to be increased. These are all because of the excessive hormonal stimulation. So this is an example of hormonal hyperplasia. Whereas compensatory hyperplasia means what? For example, some of the the part of the tissue of the organ has been destroyed. So again there is a regeneration of the tissue because of the multiple cell division. So that is called compensatory hyperplasia. For example, liver got damaged and a part of the liver tissue has been again regenerated because of the more number of the cell division. So that is called compensatory hyperplasia. Skin got some aberration happened on the skin surface and again the skin tissue has been regenerated. So that is called compensatory hyperplasia. Then the other one is metaplasia. So here you can see very clearly these are the normal cells, but here these normal cells are replaced by some other cells which are less developed. Their cell size is less, maybe the catabolism or metabolism is going to occur at the less rate. So these are replaced by some other cells. The original cells are replaced by some other cells which are not probably well developed. Then that is called metaplasia. So this metaplasia, again the point you have to remember is generally in metaplasia, the epithelium, whatever, generally it happens in the respiratory tract. In the respiratory tract region it is going to happen. So whatever the epithelium is there, that epithelium is replaced by squamous cells. So there is a replacement of the normal basal epithelium with the squamous cells. So this is in general it is going to happen in the complete respiratory tract or urinary tract. So this is called metaplasia. Then the other one is dysplasia. So here you can see this is the normal cells and here complete regular arrangement is there. Cells are undergoing cell division. There is no control in the cell division. Cells are proliferating irregularly and there is an arrangement of cells also happened very irregularly. So this is called dysplasia. Dysplasia is also called as atypical hyperplasia. Generally dysplasia will be seen in the uterine cervix region, urinary tract region, as well as your respiratory tract region. Generally you can find this atypical hyperplasia, which is nothing but the dysplasia. So these are all different types of the cellular adaptations. Cell will adopt, either it may be physiological process, as a part of the physiological process, or as a part of the pathological process. I hope you understood this concept. If you like it, please subscribe, share and comment. Thank you one and all.